What a day. Now, am I wearing a Crystal Gale t-shirt? Fact. Was Deshaun Watson traded from the Houston Texans today? Fact. The Cleveland Browns, people, yes, the Browns have made a trade with the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson. All we heard for the last several days was that it was down to either the Atlanta Falcons or the New Orleans Saints to land Deshaun Watson in a trade. Nope. The Browns come in the 11th hour out of left field. Nobody saw this coming. None of us here at Sports Radio 610, none of the big-name newsbreakers like Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, nobody saw it coming. But the Browns have traded for Deshaun Watson. In return for Watson, the Browns send 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fourth-round pick to the Texans in exchange. Now, some of you may think, oh, man, this is the second time in history that 3 first-round picks have been dealt. The only other time being Herschel Walker. This is a great deal. This is awesome. No. Let me stop you there. Yes, the 3 first-round picks, I'll take them. Absolutely. 3 first-round picks, awesome. But to follow the 3 first-round picks with a third-round pick and a fourth-round pick, and by the way, the Texans sent a 5th-rounder over to Cleveland, to follow it with that, it's extremely disappointing and should be if you're a Texans fan. Because Deshaun Watson, we have never seen a player of this caliber at such a young age playing the most important position in all of professional sports. We have never seen a player like this dealt. It just has never happened, ever. And because of that, the appropriate value for Deshaun Watson was not achieved by Texans general manager Nick Caserio today whenever he made the deal. Again, love the 3 ones, and there's plenty of room for debate here. I've been talking with some of you on Twitter about it. But when you really look at the grand scheme of things, and a lot of you out there are like me, I loved watching Deshaun Watson when he was here in Houston. Truly enjoyed watching every play Deshaun made. But at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of the name on the back of the jersey. I'm a fan of the logo. I'm a Houston Texans fan, which means I want the future of this organization to be in the best possible state. I want them to have every opportunity to get better and to be competitive for years to come. Whenever you don't get appropriate value back for Deshaun Watson or in any trade, that hampers that. Now, this was not a Bill O'Brien level screw up. I'm not saying this is the worst trade I've ever seen with Deshaun Watson heading to Cleveland. What I am saying is there was more to get. The value for Deshaun Watson was not met with 3 ones, a third, and a fourth. It just wasn't. And you can talk about Herschel Walker and the 3 ones and how historical it is. That's fine. But the Cleveland Browns showed the world what they thought of Deshaun Watson's value today by giving him $230 million in guaranteed money. That's $80 million more than any quarterback has ever gotten in guaranteed money. Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen both have about $150 million in guaranteed dollars. So when the Browns do that, and appropriately, I might add, I think that, sure, there's some room to flex up or down with that number, but Deshaun Watson's value, I think, is somewhere in that area. If you want a franchise quarterback that gives you a chance year in and year out to win a Super Bowl, when they did that, that should show everyone and tell everyone that what the Texans got back in return just simply is not enough. I'm not saying the guaranteed money, the new contract the Browns have put together for Deshaun Watson, I'm not saying that should have been some sort of negotiating tool or that Nick Caserio and the Texans knew about that before making the deal. That's not what I'm saying. But now knowing that, in hindsight, seeing that, it tells you that this kid, this quarterback, this young quarterback who led the league in passing 2 short years ago, you needed to get more for him. You absolutely needed to get more for him. Maybe some second-round picks. Maybe some football players from the Cleveland Browns roster that have already shown on the field that they are great players. You have plenty of room to build up, develop, and make the Houston Texans roster better. You don't get anything back as far as a starting football player for the Houston Texans. You don't get any second-round picks. After the 3 first-rounders, this trade is just underwhelming to say the least for me. And again, not the worst trade I've ever seen, so don't Don't get all hot and bothered over there. It's not Hopkins to the Cardinals or anything like that, but it's just not right. There was much more to get for Nick Caserio and the Texans, in my opinion. You can respond if you disagree. I love talking stuff like this out. And for the crowd out there saying, it was just time to move on. Needed to get Watson out the door. It's time to look into the future and be done with it. That's a loser's mentality, man. I just can't get on board with that. If you are not thinking about the future at all times, no matter what hardships or what obstacles you have in your way as a GM or anyone calling shots for a professional sports team, you got problems. You can't just be moving on and, who cares? No, you got to care, because in the grand scheme, everything matters. Every year's draft matters. Every free agency matters. All of it matters. That's a sore subject to use a phrase like that right now in Houston.